Welcome back, everyone. This is Chris Ruggieri, also called the Neocount Phoenix, and today we're going to be going through the 2024 SANS Holiday Hack Challenge with Counter Hack. Many thanks to both of those teams for putting on another amazing year. We're going to go ahead and go through Act 2. So, if you were watching the Act 1 video, we were still on Frosty's Beach at the time, went back, found a few Easter eggs. Here's how you get to Act 2. Just story, go to Act 2. Whole bunch of new stuff pops up as objectives. And a bunch new, there's now chain link fence. Are the elves at war or something? What happened? That's interesting. We come down, we see there are 15 different trophies. Now, again, you get the bronze for basically just starting it. But let's walk around and talk to a few people, see if we can find stuff.
I ate too many cookies.
Yeah, I know. And you got crumbs all over my keyboard.
Hey, that wasn't me. That was you.
Me? I only had one cookie. Now I'm sitting here having to spray out my keyboard.
Fourth wall, right? You do realize we're the same person, right?
Hey, spoiler alert. You ain't supposed to say that. You're like one of Jeff Dunham's puppets.
Puppet? I'm not a puppet, I'm an elf.
My point stands. Well, anyway, let's talk to everybody, see what they've got to say. Got Eve Snowshoes over here. Hi there, Tech Savior. Eve Snowshoes and Team Alabaster in need of assistance. Been busy creating and testing a modern solution to Sandy's naughty nice list. I even built an Android app, streamlined things for Alabaster's team. Here's my tiny reindeer-sized problem. I made a debug version and a release version of the app. I accidentally left a child's name out of each version, but for the life of me, can't remember who. You should start with the debug version first, figure out which child's name isn't shown in the list with the app. Then we can move on to release. I'd be eternally grateful. Notice we got about 4 hints on that one. And just keeps repeating. So let's take a look at those 4 hints real quick. Try using APK tool or JEDEX. Maybe look for names, what names are included, and work back from there. So yeah, you've heard about this new Android app format. Want to convert it to an APK file and obfuscate it and encrypt it. Shame you can't just run strings on the file. Those are the little hints that we've gotten. And ironically, mobile analysis is the first one on the list. So let's go ahead and grab those two. They'll be in the conversations. Eve Snowshoes. And there's your debug and your release. Oh, and of course it signed me out for a second. Is it downloading both? Yes, it is. That's all I care. Now let's dump those into Kali. And see what we can find.
That's a whole lot of trophies. How are we gonna get through all these this fast?
I'll tell you how. We'll get them done with maximum effort.
Really? That's what you're going with?
That's right. That's what I'm going with. Maximum effort. Anywho.
Okay. I'm gonna give you that one. That was a good placement.
Of course it was a good placement. Now I've had a few people that have asked what version of Kali, how I'm using it, etc., etc. So let me bring this over here right now. I'm actually running Kali through Whizzle 2. And I'm taking the SantaSwipe and SantaSwipe secure files. You actually can come down into here when you're running Whizzle, it has the wonderful ability to just jump between the different files, secure swipe and SANS APKs. You copy them into there from your standard download folder. I took the one off. And that will put them directly in your downloads folder in Kali. Secure swipe AAB, secure swipe APK. Neat trick, huh? I like Whizzle. Keeps me from having to run VM Workstation or anything along those lines. Mirrored network, so it's got the exact same IP address. It's actually pretty cool. Network Chuck did a really amazing video on it. I'll try to remember to put the link to that video in the description later on. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. We've got JDEX. I prefer the GUI version. And we're going to start this from scratch because I've actually already run through this once. As it's loading. Ta-da! Instant decompile list, or decompiled APK, which is great. Now, if we look, we can see the main activity group here. There's a database table. Of course, that's under COM, North Pole SANSwipe. There's your database. And let's take a look and see what we have in here. Okay, writable database. We have several different calls into it. Not sure if that metadata is going to be important later. All right, so we're inputting, all right, insert into nice list item, errors, all right, naughty list. Oh, here we go. Select item from normal list where item not like Ellie. So it looks like Ellie's the one who got dropped off the list. Let's minimize this for a minute. Come into our objectives and see if Ellie is the person that was left out of the list. Submit and give it a second. Okay, this one I know for a fact is Windstream. I'm in desperate need of better internet. So I may go quiet for a few moments here while this waits to see what it's going to do. It's going to sign me back out. That's interesting. Objectives, mobile analysis, Ellie. Submit. There we go. So there's our silver achievement. So now we can come back into Kali. We are pretty much done. So let's open the new file. No, I don't want to save that. And let's see if we can open the SANS Secure on this. Source code, we know it was COM, we know it was North Pole SANSwipe. But this time there's a database helper. That's interesting. Taking a look around. Okay, so we've got some decoding stuff going on here. Decrypt data. That's an encryption string. Let's keep going down. Okay, so we can see that I'm going to come back up here to show you. We have North Pole SANSwipe C0672R string and then 17EK and 176IV. IV is going to be your initialization vector. Oh, it looks like there's two different strings. Decode and decode 2. So there's definitely two different strings going on here. Let's keep going and see what we can see. Because there's one of them. And there's the other. So it looks like we've got the encryption key kind of following the same, IV is initialization. Try to speak, Chris.
Something's got your tongue tied this morning.
Yeah, I 100% need more caffeine. It's the whole powered by caffeine, sarcasm, and insanity, and I'm running low on caffeine. All right, let's keep scrolling down. Like I said, initialization vector, EK encryption key, kind of follows the same naming convention a little bit. Let's see what else we've got. We got a whole lot of some kind of encrypted strings here. Oh, that's a good thing to find. So we know it's AES encryption, GCM with no padding. That was an interesting choice. And like I said, 128, this IV, there's your initialization vector again. So with it being AES, trying to see if I can determine what size key. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, most likely it's 128-bit, but... Oh, it's right there. Someone smacked me in the face because apparently I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so let's write a quick Python script here. You know me in Python. So while we're looking around, let's see if we can take a look at the resources that it's being used. We got a bundle config. Oh, that was basically useless. We have resources. Resources.pv. Here we go. That might get us something. Scroll down a little bit. I think I might have gone too far. Or maybe that's not the right resources. Because there's your initialization vector again, your encryption key. Decrypt data. So we're finding the functions we need, but we're not finding the exact spot we need. Let's see, resources, resource PB. There's got to be something in here that I'm missing here. Because there's your data extraction rules. Where'd it go? Backup rules, data extraction rules. Ah, here we go. We have a whole lot more resources. Well, let's try strings. Oh, look at that. There's your key. There's your initialization vector. Okay, so if we create a little Python script, yes, I've already done it. Don't hurt me. That is the encrypted string from database helper. Let me actually see if I can split screen this real quick. Oh, stop it. Thank you. So you can see, oh, need to split screen that one too. Get back here. There's your encryption key, matches that, ending in Juliet Kilo capital X-ray whiskey equals. Your initialization vector ends in Charlie Michael Lima 4, matches that. Come back up to your database helper, and there's your string ending in X-ray Juliet capital Bravo capital Juliet. And if you scroll to the end, X-ray Juliet capital Bravo capital Juliet. So that's where all that came in. So that's our first set, but we know there's two because there's two decodes. So I'm going to say this is mobile.1, I guess. If I could spell. Apparently I can't spell or speak. Further verification that yes, Chris needs coffee. Now that that's open, let's go into our downloads. Python or mobile.1.py. You can already see the one above it. I'll get to that in a minute. Plain text result, great trigger. Whoops. Invalid syntax. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and remove that. That whole set right there. Save it and retry. This may be a byte conversion issue. Well, oh, it would help if I put a plain text, wouldn't it? We can do that by coming to the end here and doing it just a print plain text result. Same there. Save it. Rerun it. Okay, so that's the output of the first one. And that is the string we need. Okay, let's copy that for just a minute and see if we can do a quick decode on that. And we're going to do that by creating an entirely new Python script. And we're going to try and make that value decrypted. So if we import crypto.cipher from crypto.cipher, we're importing AES, base64, import B64 decode. That's the string we got from the previous little entry right there. There's our key, there's our initialization vector. And I'm going to make this mobile.2.py. Save it. Run this one. Incorrect AES length. Let's see what I'm missing. All right, let's see if what would happen if we just, instead of using bytes, if we just do it as base 64. Let's see, there's the key. We're going to need to decode those. So key will equal B64 decode. Oh, I need to make that a... One moment. See, we need to decode that. let's see, initialization vector equals B64 decode, IV, and now it should work. See if I'm right. Nope. Let's see, IVB. Oh, I forgot to put the B64 there. Let's try that again. Oh, invalid continuation type. We've got a non-UTF character. Let's go ahead and add some debugging in here. And that we can do try, print. It's going to be decrypted text. Plain text dot decode, and that's going to be UTF-8. Need 2 of those. I'm going to need that line again later, or pretty close to it. Go back, except Unicode decode error as E. And just get rid of that. Encrypted text is not valid UTF-8 error, comma E. Now let's save that and try it again. That'll give some nice, what are you getting into?
I know I was complaining about cookies earlier, but I kind of want more.
Not yet. We have one more act. Today is December 1st. Act 3 starts tomorrow. You can wait on the cookies.
Do I really have to?
Yes, my keyboard can't handle another crumb debacle.
Fine.
All right, so now that that's saved, let's run it again. And we still have an invalid continuation byte. Let's see here. You know what? Let's run it a different way. Let's see if I can try multiple methods. UTF-8, plain, raw bytes, etc. Let's try that. And there it is, plain text, Joshua. So we've got the extracted values, IVs right there, encryption keys right there. That value is what we got from the previous answer here that we got from Mobile 1. And then Mobile 2 just spits out exactly what it's supposed to, which is good. So we know Joshua is the one who is left missing at this point. Basically what I did here is I base 64 decoded the initialization vector, base 64 decoded the key, base 64 decoded the encrypted text, and then passed all of those through the cipher, and then told it to decrypt the ciphertext, which is the base 64 encoded encrypted base that's there. And then I had it print the result in several different ways. But Joshua is the one that we're looking for. So let's come back into here. Keep signing me out. Go into your objectives, go down to mobile analysis, and let's add Joshua. And just in case anybody wasn't paying attention, would you like to play a game? That's a War Games reference. Joshua was the name of Professor Falcon's son. Joshua was the login to Whopper. Whole 9 yards. If you haven't seen War Games 2, Whopper comes up again. So let's go ahead and hit submit on this. And boom, there's our gold achievement. Refresh the user profile. First 3 are done. We've got drone path coming up next. Confirm that. Yes, drone path is next. So let's run around, talk to everybody on the Alabaster side. It looks like there's a task right here, Snowball Showdown. That looks like fun. But let's run around and talk to everybody, check everything behind, make sure we're not missing any Easter eggs, and see what else is there. All right, so it says drone path is our next challenge. 3 snowflakes. Inside the DMZ. Yeah, it looks like help the elf defecting from Team Wombly get invaluable top secret intel to Team Alabaster. Help Chimney Scissor Sticks, who's hiding inside the DMZ. Yeah, the 2 sides are at war. Oh, that's sad. Let's see what Eve has to say after we've completed the analysis. Aha! Success, you found it. Thanks for staying on your toes, helping me out every step forward. Keeps Alabaster's plans on track. You're a real lifesaver. And repeats. So let's walk around a little bit. Checking behind stuff, because again, we are still looking for any Easter eggs. Ooh, I haven't gone back to Prologue from the dock since Act 1. Let's see if there's anything even different between Act 1 and 2. See if anybody says anything different, because we've still got the 6 geese a-laying. Yeah, it looks like they're all still saying the same thing. Keep coming down. Jason's still there. Jason the Brick. Still says the same thing. Still can't click on the Surf Shack. Okay. So that pretty much takes care of that. Let's see if there's anything else floating around here. Nope, nope, nope. Too far, too far. Don't you hate when you hold the button down too long? Nothing behind the picnic table. Nothing behind the front fence. What is with these outhouses? Oh, that's so funny. Snowball Showdown is going to be like a snowball fight. Nothing behind the stumps. Trees. Nothing behind the trees. Yeah, it looks like everything's pretty much... Ooh, Sparkle's up here. Got Sparkle Redberry and Alabaster. Let's go talk to them real quick. See if they've got anything new. Sparkle Redberry. Hi, I'm Sparkle. I'm terribly worried about the current affairs on the North Pole. Who could have ever predicted there would be a civil war between us elves? There's even a DMZ, which stands for Demilitarized Zone, dividing us. There's rumors going around that some determined elf dug secret underground tunnel network that connects both sides, even has an exit in the DMZ. The interests are the outhouse. Really? All the outhouses are... Oh, okay. Right where elves do their business, hiding in plain sight. Sure hope all the elves are just anxious and riled up, only because Santa's not here. When he gets back, he'll have everyone happy and together again. I know it. You'll see. But where is he? What's taking him so long? Oh, Santa, please come home soon. And he just repeats over and over again.
There is no way you're getting me to crawl through an outhouse.
Hey, we just walked around the map. I think it might be the only way to get from one side to the DMZ to the other.
I am not crawling through that stuff. Had to catch myself. I am not crawling through that. Nope, not happening.
think about it. One of your fellow elves made it. As icky as it sounds to you, I'm sure it sounded just as bad to the elf that dug it, so there's got to be a way to avoid it. Come on. You're an elf. Think like your fellow elves.
You got a point. I'll tell you what, we'll go through once, and if it's not too bad, then maybe we'll go ahead and crawl for them.
See? That's the spirit. All right, let's talk to Alabaster. Can't say I'm proud of this banner or the reason it must exist. It's the summertime in the North Pole. Offense versus defense, red versus blue, naughty versus nice. Elf versus elf. Therein lies the tragedy. We're all elves with the same goal. Be merry and make the holidays a resounding success. Exactly. Thank you. Wombly doesn't see it that way. He's still upset with how Santa moved operations to Key Silence last year and how Santa has, in Wombly's words, abandoned us this year. So he's trying to take over operations from Santa. Most of us believe in Santa and know he'll be back. We just need to hold Wombly off from getting the naughty nice list until Santa returns. To do that, we're scrapping together whatever we can with the supplies we have. I don't know where Wombly got all those resources from, everything he's built. But good always triumphs in the end. That's right. Good always triumphs in the end. Drat, I guess the mobile app is not a secure way to store the naughty nice list. We've just got to think of a better way. It can't fall into Wombly's hands. Maybe just on our secure file share. And he just repeats from there. So let's see what else everybody's got to say. I think the only other one is Dusty Gift Wrap, and I know he's going to talk about Snowball Showdown, so that's not the next one on the list. And now the map is showing it. Okay, here we go. So we've got an exit. Nope, that's challenge. Let's jump into the DMZ. Okay, yeah, that wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad. I'm a lot shorter than you. It was bad. I was up to my neck.
You were not up to your neck. You were riding on my shoulders half the time.
Well, can you blame me? I mean, that's, like you said, that's where we do our business.
And I told you it wasn't going to be that bad. And look, it wasn't that bad. So let's come down and talk to Pepper and One Rose and see if we can't find out, first off, why there's a DMZ. Second off, where this drone path challenge is located so we can get it taken care of. All right, they are standing around that great elf conflict, so I'm actually going to skip that one for now and come down and talk to Chimney, because that's where the drone path is. Awesome. So, Chimney Scissor Sticks, here we go. Hey, psst, over here. I'm Chimney Scissor Sticks. I'm not liking all the tension brewing between the factions, so even though I agreed with how Wombly was handling things, I got the feeling this is going to end poorly for everyone. So I'm trying to get this data to Alabaster's side. Can you help? Wombly's planning something big in that toy factory. He's not really making toys in there. He's building an armada of drones. Delivery method, maybe? Packed with valuable data from the elves working on the project. I think they had the admin password in the drone flight logs. Nope. Bad place. Need to crack this and prevent this escalating snowball showdown. I wonder if that's a reference to the showdown challenge up top. You'll be working with KML files, tracking drone flight paths, right? Intriguing. We need every detail to prepare for what's ahead. Use tools like Google Earth and some Python scripting to decode the hidden passwords and code words locked in those files. Ready to give it a go? It's going to be a wild ride, and your skills may just turn the tide of this conflict. All right, so let's hop on the drone workshop. How am I signed in already? I need that to start over. There we go. So there's our home. File share. What do we got? Frejort path.kml. And they did say Google Earth, so let's take a look at Google Earth. I don't remember the exact URL. Oh, it's just earth.google. I should have seen that coming. Oh, go away. Thank you. All right, let's. Nope, I don't want to. I want to import a local KML file. Visual path. Open Sesame. Oh, look at this. Gumdrop 1. Let's see if I can rotate that and make it a little easier for the audience to see. Not my gumdrop buttons. Yeah, gumdrop 1. Okay, so let's come back over here. Now we can try to log in. And remember that little problem that I was telling you about where if I open a new window, the Holiday Hack Challenge kind of freezes a little bit? I don't know if that's, well, it's happened on 2 different systems now, so I don't know if that's just a kind of a bug or what's going on, but give me just a moment. Username is going to be the part of the file name, Fritjolf. That's not even an anagram for an elf. I'm not sure. Password is going to be gumdrop1, apparently all caps. So let's wait for this to refresh and then see if we can log in. Okay, now that it's refreshed, we can try to log in. Username, Fritjolf, and the password all in caps, gumdrop1. Invalid credentials. Did I spell it wrong? What's the file name? Fritjolf path. Does that have? Oh, that would be why I can't spell. R-I, Chris. R-I. Invalid credentials again. Fritjolf. And let me make sure. Gumdrop 1. Invalid credentials. But yet we're looking at it. Gumdrop 1. Wrong button. No, I did not mean to do that. Fortunately, that's a quick fix. Log in. Gumdrop 1. Oh, there goes. Login successful. Here we go. That was weird. All right, drone name. That doesn't help. Oh, we've got a workshop. We've got an admin console. Let's go to profile. Ah, here we go. Files, secret preparation, drone name. Let's go ahead and download that. And I'm going to open it just because I'm curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Okay, so we've got a bunch of coordinates here. Latitude, longitude, height, etc. We should be able to convert this into a KML file. Don't save. But we need to be in Kelly again to do it. Now, I've already, you know me, already written it. That's not the right one. Let's see here. There's the CSV. screenshot of the path. No, that's the actual KML. Never mind. Scratch that. Go away. Ah, it's the convert to KML one. Okay. So let's open a terminal here. Again, this will be attached to the full write-up that will be added to my website once the competition ends. We run Python, take caps lock off, convert to kml.py. I took all of the latitude and longitudes out, and we should have drone path with lines and height. So we can copy that and use the exact opposite way that we were talking about before. That's in desktop, drone path with lines and height. We can actually copy that into our downloads folder. Yeah, I'm going to replace it. And then we should be able to come back into Google Earth, open a new local KML file, being the drone lines with height. And notice we've got a path here. A little difficult to see. But let's start at one side and work our way down, shall we? Let's zoom in on this one. Oh, nice. Okay, so we have an E. We have an L. We have an F. Ooh, that could be either an underscore or a dash. Oh, there it is. That's an H. Cute. What do we got on this one? Zoom out a little bit. That's an A. What is this one? Yeah, that's pretty clearly a W. Elf Hawk. This is a K. Yeah. Zoom out a little bit. There's your K. So it's going to be Elf Hawk. The question is it with a dash or is it with a hyphen? Let's find out. So we come back here, menu, workshop. Now let's see. Let's try to see if it's an underscore. Not an underscore. Let's try a dash. There we go. Elf Hawk, quantity 40, weapons, snowball launcher. Comments for Elf Hawk. These drones work great to find alabaster snowball warehouses. I've hidden the activation code in the dataset Elf Hawk dump CSV. Need to keep it safe. For now, it's under files secret. Why do you put that in there? We need to make sure we have enough of these drones ready for the upcoming operation. Well done on hiding the activation code of the dataset. If someone finds it, it will take them a long, all capital, time or forever to carve the data out, preferably the latter. So we're doing carving on this. That's interesting. So let's take that Elf Hawk dump CSV, which I have right here. And let's see if we can convert it just the longitude and latitude. And I'm doing that because the long and ladder are highlighted in the little mini hint there. So let's run Python elfhawk convert. Okay, we've got a flat drone path here. That looks like there's something written in it. Let's play with some of the subplots here. Let's go. Ha! Drone data analyst expert metal. All right, I'm gonna move that off. Where can I move that? I'll put it right here. Well, maybe not. Need to move that to this side first. Let me back in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me out. Let me out. Sorry, I had a Lion King moment. Let's go into our objectives. Drone path. Oh, that's right. We have to do it inside here. Open drone path back up. We are still logged in as Frajol. Admin console. Let's try drone data analyst expert metal. Submit. And there's our silver achievement. Excellent. Okay. Now what do we have to do for gold? Let's see what Chimney has to say. Bravo, you've tackled the drone challenge, navigated the KML files like a true expert. Skills just what we need to prevent the big snowball battle. The North Pole thanks you. Well done, you cracked code from the drones, showed you mastered the basics of KML. This kind of expertise is invaluable as we gear up for what's ahead. But I need you to dig deeper. Make sure you're checking those file structures carefully. And remember, rumor is there is some injection flaw that might give you the upper hand. Keep your eyes sharp. That's a SQL injection reference. Let me finish saying what he's got to say. And it just repeats. All right. So we've got a SQL injection in here somewhere. I seriously doubt it's the admin console, because that would just be way too easy. What else is there? So workshop has a potential. So let's try single tick or tick 1 equals 1. Search. And now we have all of the lovely names. We've got Elf Hawk, Pigeon Lookalike V4, Flying Zoomer, Zapper. I'm going to bounce back and forth on these for a little bit. Zapper, sort of primitive, but works. Flying Zoomer. Drone is perfect for dropping snowballs on unsuspecting targets. And Pigeon. Pigeon Lookalike V4. This is a great drone for surveillance, but we need to keep it out of the rain. Can't believe we're using pigeons for surveillance. If anyone finds out, there will most likely be a conspiracy theory about it. I heard there's something phishing with some of the files. There was some talk about only true carvers would find secrets and the false ones would never find it. True and false are both capitalized. So if we take that from the previous example where latitude and longitude were a big deal, yeah, there's a lot of true false values in here. So let me see if I can, let me jump back to Scheiber Chef for a moment and just completely clear that recipe because it's no longer needed. And I'm going to try to input the Elf Hawk. Now, what do I need to do? Let's see. I know we're going to need to carve it, so we need regex. Regular expression. So regex uses a pipe as a one or the other type thing. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's a computer problem. Give me a sec. There we go. All right. User defined, true, false, case insensitive. List the matches. That, of course, will change the bake for a moment. So it's not frozen. It's Cyber Chef. It's baking. Let's see, true, false. If we think old school on it, true and false are basically the equivalent of binary or XOR. This is true or that is true. Some kind of maybe a Boolean value. Let's try with binary first, but let's see. If I'm going to do binary, then I need to do a find and replace. As soon as that finishes baking. Just a little side note. You probably noticed when I was looking through everything, I have 4 different versions of ElfHawk downloaded here. Just a nickel's worth of free advice because, again, I try to do the challenges and get the answer before I actually do the video so that I can better describe it and how I did it. If you open the CSV in Excel at all, Excel does this weird rewrite thing that causes all kinds of problems, and CyberChef won't work correctly if you do it. So that's why I grabbed the one that I know I did not open inside of Excel. Because you can see Excel sitting down there with my personal budget open, which is why you haven't seen it yet. And again, it's doing that just so that Excel hasn't touched it. Excel hasn't done any of its weird conversion stuff. And it lets this work a whole lot better. Okay, it finally finished baking. So, regular expression, user defined, true, false, case insensitive, list matches. Now we can do a find and replace, and find true and replace it with 1. Don't believe we need multi-line matching. And then a find and replace for false, if I could spell, and replace that with 0, because, of course, 0 is true. I'm sorry, 0 is false, 1 is true. So now we need to take that and go into binary. Or from binary, I should say. And let's set the delimiter at... Oh, I don't have to. What is that? Haha! We are there. Code word is expert turkey carver metal. Right after Thanksgiving. That is beautiful. Code word expert turkey carver metal. So now if we come back into the Holiday Hack Challenge, as you can see, it has kicked me out again. So if we jump back over to the admin panel, because again, expert turkey carver metal, we come over and jump into the admin console, enter that as the code. Let's see if it works. Menu, admin console, expert turkey carver metal, submit, and boom, there is gold. And that's how you can, attempt to hide information inside of a KML file. This was actually a fun challenge. The amount of effort it had to take for the SANS and CounterHack teams to find those geographic locations that spelled out letters. That must have been just insanely, amazingly hard to find. But it worked. I like it. It's kind of a cool thing. So let's talk to Chimney. Bravo, you've tackled the drone challenge All right, that sounds pretty much just like the first thing he said. Absolutely fantastic. I think you found the most difficult path in, from file carving to SQL injection. Not many can do that, but you've shown that you're ready for anything the factions throw your way. So that's the new part that he's saying. And it just repeats from there. Alrighty. So now, what's the next one on our list? Drone path is good. So PowerShell. PowerShell is not that one. So let's see if we can find. We have a map here now. Let's see if we can just jump over here. Yes, we can. Okay. Let's do some walking around, see if there's any Easter eggs that we're missing. Nothing behind that entire wall. Nothing behind the snowball catapult with a giant block of ice on it. That's cute. Man, they are definitely gearing up for war on this one. Wow. Nothing behind any of that. I'm just going to do a quick walk around and then we'll jump into the PowerShell challenge. Can you climb into that? No. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's going to the... Stop. No, stop. That's going into the outhouse. And I don't want to change locations yet. No Easter eggs there. Keep coming down. Check the trees and stumps. Nope. And while we're down here, let's talk to Garland. Let's see. That should be the last one. Let's see what Garland's got to say. Now, this is a flag to rally around, full of symbolism and meaning, truly inspirational. Totally unlike Alabaster's. Who puts their own face on their banner? Only self-righteous evildoers do such a thing. He's the real villain, if you ask me. Why can't y'all just work together? Waltley represents an idea, a tradition, a goal greater than himself, while Alabaster obviously is trying to win over Santa's favor with the hope that Santa puts him in a position of power upon returning. Don't be fooled by Alabaster's self-serving campaign. Wombly will save the holidays, the real holidays, how they're meant to be. He will save the elves, the North Pole, and our way of life. From the cube, the elves will rise. Got a little emoji of him saluting. That's cute. That's the last thing, I believe. I haven't walked behind. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much all of it. Let's go up and start working on the PowerShell challenge. All the way up. Come on. And this is how I end up hitting the button way too many times. What you got, Piney? Piney Sappington. Hey there, friend. Piney Sappington here. You've probably heard the latest. Things are getting tense around here with all the faction business between Wombly and Alabaster, but let's focus on the PowerShell terminal for now. There's a remote access for our snowball weaponry. We programmed some defensive mechanisms, but the system is in a faulty lockdown state. I certainly wasn't the one that programmed the mechanism. Nope, not me. But can you help me find a way through it so I can regain access? Two functions I need access to: snow cannon terminal, which should be easier, and the snow cannon production and deployment plans. That one's better defended. Still, I've got faith in you. We need every advantage we can right now, and you might just be the one to tip the balance. So think you can do it? Are you ready to show what you've got? And he repeats from there. All right, let's take a look at the terminal and get the PowerShell challenge started. Are you ready to begin? Welcome to the PowerShell MFA challenge. Type hint me for hints. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Control-C restricted in this terminal. Do not use endless loops. PowerShell 7.2.3. There's a file in the current directory called welcome.txt. Read the contents of this file. That's pretty easy. It's just type and then the name of the file. Elf Weaponry Multi-Factor Authentication System. Safeguards access to classified armory containing elf weapons. This high-security system is equipped with advanced defense mechanisms, including canaries, retinal scanner, keystroke analyzing, to prevent unauthorized access. In the event of suspicious activity, the system automatically initiates lockdown, restricting all access until manual override provided. Restricting all access until manual override by authorized personnel. Lockdown protocols. When the system enters lockdown mode, all access to the armory is frozen. This includes both entry to and interaction with the weaponry storage. Defense mechanism becomes active, deploying logical barriers to prohibit unauthorized access. Smart play. During this stage, users cannot disable the system without the intervention of an authorized administrator. System logs all activities, all attempts, and alerts Central Command when lockdown is triggered. Access and system restoration. To restore access to the system, users must follow strict procedures. First, authorized personnel must identify the scrambled endpoint. Next, they must deactivate the defense mechanism by entering the override code and presenting the required token. After verification, the system will resume standard operations and access to weaponry is reactivated. Okay, so the second command is, geez, that sounds ominous. I'm sure we can get past the defense mechanisms. We should warm up our power skills. How many words are there in the file? We should just be able to just get content and then pipe that to a measure and then a select object. All right, hang on. Let me actually type this out. Get content. Path. And I believe that needs to be in quotes if I remember right. Welcome.txt, close quotes, dash raw. And then we want to split that out. Single tick slash S for space, plus, close the tick, and then we want to pipe that into measure object, and then pipe that into select object. Thank you. And then expand property, if I could type again. Should just be count. 180. And that actually moved us on to the next one. Nice. There's a server listening for incoming connections on this machine. That must be the weapons terminal. What port is it listening on? All right, here's where some weird PowerShell knowledge is going to come in. System. .net. .network information. Let's see, .IP global properties. Should be able to close that one now. 2 colons. I need to get those IP properties. .get active. Oops, don't need a space there. TCP listener. Capitalization shouldn't matter, but listeners, it's plural. Have to remember that. And then pipe that to select object, expand property, port. 1P if I could spell. Oh, I forgot global. Wake up, Chris. Looking at this going, that should have worked. Forgot the global. Get global IP properties. Ah, there we go. 1225. That got us, you should enumerate the web server, communicate with it using HTTP. What status code do you get? So that's just going to be an invoke web request, or IWR dash URI HTTP, and it's going to be localhost 127.0.1 colon 1225. We want that to be a GET request. So method equals GET. And then we can pipe that into another select object. And we can expand property status code. One word. 401 unauthorized, but it did allow us to advance. Looks like defense measures are in place, protected by basic authentication. Try authenticating with a standard admin username and password. All right. Should be able to modify this one a little bit. We can add get. Actually, you should be able to delete that because we don't need the code anymore. I'm sorry. We want credential. And we want to convert it to a new PowerShell object. I am having some serious trouble typing today. PS credential, admin, open parentheses, convert to secure string. Tab is a wonderful thing. Let's see, what would a normal... I mean, if it's basic weak authentication, it could be admin, it could be admin password. Let's try admin. As plain text, force, close that off. So there's two there because there's one here and here. I need to close them both. And then allow unencrypted authentication. Throw the semicolon and then response dot status code. Hey, that worked. There are too many endpoints here. Use a loop to download the contents of each page. What page has 138 words? When you find it, communicate with the URL and print the contents to the terminal. Oh, that's going to be a longer script. All right, so the base URL equals HTTP 127.0.0.1 colon 1225 slash endpoints. Forgot to close the double quote there. And we can tell it's endpoints because it's right there, endpoints. Now we need to kind of do it. Here's where the loop's going to come in. I'm going to write this inside of Notepad++ for a minute. -I in, would help if I could spell, 1 dot dot 100 URL equals base URL. Oh, I need to make that capital, don't I? Slash I. And I need to include double quotes on that. And then we're going to do a try. Response, learn to spell, equals IWR dash URI URL method get allow unencrypted authentication word count equals response dot context or content. I'm sorry, content dash split. Same as we used before. Dot count and then if word count is equal to 138, right host page with 138 words found at URL we also want it to write the content response.content and then we should be able to break from there. Go back, close the function. And I almost just messed up because that should be an open bracket, not an open parentheses. Because that will close it. And then do a catch, just in case. Right host. There's a dash there, dummy. Failed to retrieve URL with error underscore dot exception message. That'll give us a little bit of debug power. All right, so let's copy all of that and see if it'll let us paste it in here. Oh, unexpected token and statement. What did I miss? Oh, spelled something wrong. That should have been a dot, not a slash. Okay. Did I forget to close something? Yes, I did. I also forgot that should be a dash. Let's try it now. All right, count the words in the response. Added a few more comments so I can make sure I can find where it's breaking. But that should do it. Ah, there it is. Okay, 138 words found at endpoint 13. Seems to be a CSV file in the comments of that page. This could be invaluable. Read the contents of that CSV file. Okay. So we probably need to, first off, call that file, that token.overview file, but we need to output it. So it's almost like we're doing kind of like a wget, but we're doing it inside of a script. So we know the URL is token overview.csv. Everything else can go bye-bye. Want to hard code the credentials just so that I don't have to do it anymore. I love how they're calling it secure password when it's really not. Convert to secure string password as plain text. That does need a dash. I was trying to remember if I needed the dash on that. All right. So your credentials are going to be new object, system management, automation, PS credential, username, comma, secure password, and here's the loop. Try, actually I'm not really looping. CSV response. Invoke web request. URL. Sorry, URI. CSV. No, in this case, base URL. It's a get method. Wow, that went grossly wrong. because my caps lock key got hit.
That might have been one of the crumbs I left. Sorry, I was trying to get it for you.
Well, I greatly appreciate that, but can you let me know next time?
Yeah, I'll make sure and let you know next time. I'll tell you to stop.
Thank you. Okay. Method is get credential is the credentials variable. And we do want it to allow unencrypted authentication. Now we need to set the output file path, anyway, equals, let's just call it token overview.csv, same as it's actually named. Close that off. CSV response dot content, and then pipe that to set content. Path output file, and then we could do a write host just to make sure that it worked. Otherwise, it's just going to show blank. You won't know if it actually worked or not. Save to output file. Catch. Write host. Failed to retrieve. CSV file with error. Exception message. Then close that. Yeah, that should work. One not authorized. Interesting. Oh, I see why. Forgot to close that off. There we go. See, CSV save to token overview.csv. Now we can just do the same thing we did with the welcome message. Type token overview. Ta-da! Luckily, the default mechanisms were faulty. There seems to be one API endpoint that still isn't redacted. Communicate with that endpoint. Okay. So that's going to be a fun little API there. We need to redo the base URL. I need that data. Copy. Just going to wipe all of that for now. Well, I don't know. Let's hold on to that for now. So we know the endpoint URL is that. It's tokens. See, 127, etc. /tokens. SHA-256 sum. So we know that part's right. We've hard-coded the credentials. that's the part that needs to change. So response equals IWR dash URI. URI is going to be the endpoint URL. Again, method is get. Credential is secure password. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, the credentials are credential. And we still want it to allow unencrypted authentication. Now we need to display that output. So let's do a write host. Response from the API endpoint. Response.content. And we're going to keep that same catch statement, just again for debugging purposes in case this goes sideways. Oh, that's interesting. It's saying I'm missing something. Let me come back here. Oh, I'm going to have to start over. Yep, I'm going to have to start over. Oh, it actually let me out. Yay. Let me see if I can figure out where I messed that up. There's the open. All right, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. That should have worked. Added a few more comments, moved a few things around just to make sure that I'm not losing that last shred of sanity I had remaining. Endpoint URL has the SHA-SUM. Username, admin, password, admin. Converted to secure string. Added as a PS credential. There's the IWR. Endpoint URL goes up here. Get method, credentials pulls that. Allow unencrypted, display. That should work now. There's where it went sideways, but I'm not quite sure why yet. Really? Ah, here we go. Don't know why it worked for the second time. They're nearly identical. But, okay, we'll take it. Missing cookie token. Looks like there's a token. Set the cookie and try again. The token is most likely going to be, I'm going to type that out again. Come on. Oop, too far. It's most likely going to be that. So let's pull this back up. This is one I've already done. Same endpoint URL, same credentials as before. There's the extracted token. And we're going to create web sessions, setting the cookie token as token with that value. Going to use another try catch statement, invoke web request. This is the exact same thing from before. The only difference is we are sending the cookie, or we're setting the cookie with it right here at the web session level. We are not trying to do it at the individual request level. We're doing it at the full web session. So let's give it a shot. Cookie MFA code. So there's your code, and you have to validate it at that endpoint. Oh, I can already tell what they're going to make us do. And again, coming back into, again, this is one I've already written. Base URL. I'm doing this because it needs to change. So I'm kind of rewriting the whole thing from scratch. Base URL is the 1225 port. In this case, we're using the MFA validate endpoint, but we're going to validate the token based on the current timestamp. We're doing that because that's a NIX timestamp. Creating a new session. Again, we're setting the cookie domain, and now we're actually creating a second cookie. Just to make sure that we have the entire everything set. Then we're going to verify the cookies, build the header, and send the request. So when we do that, success, validated endpoint. So this is the string. Looks like base 64 decoded to get the final secrets. Except it's not really the final secret, but okay. And this one, so we know the encoded message is that value. And as you can see, that value is what's there. And then we basically just convert it from base 64 into UTF-8. We're not even going to call it. We're just going to do it. And there's Silver. Decoded message, correct token supplied. You are granted access to the Snow Cannon terminal. Here's your personal password for access. Snow Leopard 2 ready for action. Hooray! You've thwarted their defenses. Alabaster can now access their weaponry and put a stop to it. Once Holiday Hack Challenge grants your achievement, you can close this terminal. So how do I get gold on that one? Let's talk back to Piney and see if we can find out. Fantastic work. You've navigated PowerShell's tricky waters, retrieved code word, just what we needed in these uncertain times. You're proving a real asset. Notice they said Alabaster's team. That should have been Wombly's team, since they have the snowball throwers, but okay. I'll let you on a little secret. There's a word to bypass the usual path and write your own PowerShell script to complete the challenge. Think you're up for it. I know you are. Got a few hints out of that one. And that is repeating, I believe. Oh no, well done. You've demonstrated solid PowerShell skills, completed the challenge, giving us a bit of an edge. Your persistence and mastery are exactly what we need. Keep up the good work. So let's check out the hints here. There it is. Total control. I heard some of the other elves talking. Even though the endpoints have been redacted, they're still operational. Means you could probably elevate your access by communicating with them. Suggest working out the hashing scheme to reproduce the redacted endpoints. Luckily, one of them is still active and can be tested against. Try hashing the token with SHA-256. See if you can reliably produce the endpoints. Get file hash algorithm. Okay. Fake EDR or fake out EDR threshold. They also mentioned the Slazy elf who programmed the security settings in the weapons terminal. He created the fake out protocol that dubbed elf detection and response instead of endpoint detection and response. Cute little play on EDR there. Whole system is literally that you set a threshold, and after that many attempts, the responses pass through. Okay, so we need to make sure that it's over that threshold. He supposedly implemented it wrong, so the threshold cookie is highly likely to be shared between endpoints. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull back up the spit out to CSV because we did have to close the file, unfortunately. And then we're going to create a loop that's going to try every one of those. PowerShell. Yes, I'm ready. And there's the token overview. That's the exact same script we used to write it the first time. I'm actually going to put that as a separate PowerShell in here somewhere. Yeah, I'll tell you what, just give me a new one. Yeah, because we will need that. And now we're going to need to loop through every one of those in order to figure out the SHA-256 hash of each one. Because if I remember correctly, by the way, in the terminal, if you hit Control B, it has to be in the terminal, you should be able to scroll up some. Yeah, there we go. You have to hit page up or page down. Okay, so it's the MD5 hash of the file, and then a SHA-256 of that MD5 hash. Okay, that works. All right, now let's let me in so I can actually do stuff again. Now here's this one for you. We're going to go through the whole thing. Your base URL, we're taking everything out of the CSV file. Your base URL, localhost 1225. We're adding tokens for the token based URL, and we're adding MFA validate for the MFA side of the URL. Same authentication credential string that we've been using this entire time, but we're going to read the MD5 hash first. That's going to, if you look at the token base URL / SHA-256 hash, what we're doing is we're taking each row's file MD5 hash, converting it to a SHA-256 hash of that, and then using that as the MFA validation. or I'm sorry, is the token validation to get the MD5, or more appropriately, to get the MFA code that we need to be able to verify against the MFA token. We're also setting that as a cookie. We got a try-catch statement invoking web request to get it. That gets us the MFA token. It goes through. If you remember, there was an href. It's grabbing everything after that. And then it's sending the MFA validation base URL to that SHA-256 hash. That's how it's looping through each one of them, while also setting the cookie and doing the standard IWR invoke web request. So let's give it a shot and see what we can find. See if I am right. Bingo, there's gold. Success, defense mechanism deactivated, administrator token supplied. You are able to control the production and deployment of the snow cannons. May the best elf win. Wombly's production line shall prevail. So I'm going to pull this script back up again. Right here, that attempts cookie that we set, that is the part that if you set it to 11, basically his threshold was 10. Anything over 10. So I set it to 11. This is the same, the C25HA2 capital Victor, lowercase Victor, alpha capital whiskey, lowercase whiskey, capital kilo. That's the same across all of the attempts. But for each one you do, that's going to go up incrementally. Unfortunately, every time you try a new URL, it resets to 1. But if you're sending it as 11, ta-da, you get your gold. Let's see what Piney's got to say now. Fantastic work. Already said that. Incredible. You tackled the hard path and showed off some serious PowerShell expertise. This kind of skill is exactly what we need, especially with things heating up between the factions. Demonstrated solid PowerShell skills, completed the challenge, giving us a bit of an edge. Your persistence mastery are exactly what we need. Keep up the good work. And he'll just repeat from there. So we check out our objectives and our achievements. We can see, we got both drone paths and both, there's the silver drone path. There's the gold drone path, both PowerShell paths. Both PowerShell achievements. Come back over to user profile, refresh it, and yep, there they are. We're down to 2 challenges, Snowball Showdown and Microsoft KC7. That's going to be KQL. That's going to be a fun one. Any questions?
That was a lot of PowerShell scripting. I mean, you were calling functions I've never even seen before.
And that's part of the reason Santa sent you down here. I've been in PowerShell since PowerShell 1. I'm showing my age when I say that. That was PowerShell 7. I do a lot in PowerShell. Do a lot in Bash, do a lot in Python, do a lot in Perl. Scripting languages are my jam.
Ooh, jam. I want some jam now. Tap it. Ooh, cookies or jam? Cookies or jam? So many choices, so little time.
You were just complaining of a stomachache.
Yeah, that's pretty much gone now. We started talking about PowerShell and drone paths, and then you said jam. You had to say jam. Now I'm hungry.
All right, we'll stop and grab some lunch. Okay, now that we've had lunch, are you happier?
Oh yeah. Jam sandwich, a little bit of cookies, some milk tea. I feel good.
That was a little creepy, but okay, we'll go with it. So we just finished up PowerShell, grabbed some lunch. Now let's jump into the teleport. We can also just hit the map here, jump back over, and now let's talk and handle the Snowball Showdown. Let's see what Dusty's got to say. Hi there, I'm Dusty Gift Wrap back from the battlefield, mostly here for the snowball fights. But I don't want Santa angry at us. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. His face becomes as red as his hat. So I guess I'm rooting for Alabaster. Alabaster Snowball seems to have quite a pickle with Wumbly Cube. We need your wizardry. Master of Sorcery. I'm going to say it again. There's a story behind that. If enough people ask in the comments, I will tell you what the story is. Take down Wombly the usual way with a friend, or try a different strategy by tweaking the client-side values for an extra edge. Alternatively, we've got a secret weapon, giant snow bomb, but we can't remember where we put it or how to launch it. Adjust the right elements, and victory for Alabaster can be secured with more subtlety. Intriguing, right? Raring to go? Terrific. Here's a rare, real brain tickler. Navigator of Chaos or Maestro of Subtlety, which will you be? Either way, remember our objective, bring victory to Alabaster. Confidence, wit. We've got what it takes. Team up with a friend or find a way to go solo. No matter how, let's end this conflict and take down Wombly. And he just repeats it. So let's see what it says. Oh, opens a new window. Multiplayer Snowball Hero. Runs best in Chrome or Safari. Okay, let's switch it over to Chrome then. Copy. Paste. Welcome to Chrome. Network. Let's see. Sources. Turn that off for right now. Phaser Snowball game. Oh, let's see over. I need the. There we go. That's what I need. Phaser. I have that pulled up here. The Phaser Snowball game. All right, so we've got a constructor at the very beginning. We've got background, clouds, mountains, the ice wall, ice platforms, bombers. That's interesting. Castle base. That's the original. Again, this is one I've already done. Sorry, I opened the wrong one. Wombly Elves throw delay. Okay, so we should be able to locally host this for a minute. MOASB. Mother of all snow bombs. Cute. That's funny. Let me check the. Okay, so at the end of reconnecting WebSocket min, we've got the mother of all snow bombs with launch code, so we could do it by sending a WebSocket request. Number of Wombly elves. I wonder if we can recreate this without Yeah. Console log skipping. Yeah, we can skip the creation. Okay. So we need to, let's take a look at a few things here. Let's create a private room. I'm curious. There's the snowball game. Oh, here we go. Single player equals false. I bet you if we turn that to true, we can make it single player. And if we turn around and allow overrides, we should be able to skip creating any of Wombly's team and the ice wall. And that's what this one does, if I recall. Because there's a create elf on platform. Let's see if I can move this to, I don't want to clone it. Move to other view. There we go. Make sure that I do have the right one. This is the original. Let's find that create elf on platform function again. It's way up there. It's like 190 something. Yeah, there we go. So we should be able, wrong button. Open in containing folder. So if we take that and replace that function, set up elf, create elf on platform. All right, let's save it. And then we can force the override to run off of here, which is now skipping. And if we refresh it, oh, that worked. Okay, so now if I just take single player to true, I can basically walk right up to Wombly and just beat the living bejesus out of him. Where you going, Wombly? Ha! Cheating hacker detected. That's funny. All right, so we got 3. Basically, I think we just have to survive for 84 seconds, give or take. Fudge. No, you can't have fudge. You're already on a sugar high. It's funny, we're destroying the table behind him. So we're at 9 to 5 right now. Mercy. 10 to 5. I want to know who's hitting Alabaster. I mean, there's literally nobody throwing snowballs, and somehow he's got 5 hits. 12 to 5. 13 to 5. We're down to 24 seconds. 24 seconds. $14 to 6. Less than 7 seconds. And we won. You won the silver medal, successfully posted win results for RFID, or RID, etc. So let's come back here, get out of that. See if we actually got it. Bronze and silver snowball showdown. Awesome. So let me show you exactly why that worked. We both have the same 2 functions here. One pulled directly from Phaser Snowball Game. The other is the one I modified. And if you notice, there's about 5 less lines. This one stops at 80. This one goes to 84. So 4 less lines. I basically used this to skip the creation of all of Wombly's team. This is the one that I created. This is the one that came directly from. So left is mine. Right is the actual JavaScript. I just said if is WOM, console log, skipping creation, elf name, etc. So if you were to run this through diff checker, you'll be able to see. Diff checker is an awesome website, by the way. Oops, did not mean to hit save. All copy, paste, find the difference. So there's more than a few changes. Completely got rid of this. Got rid of all this. Kept this elves push. But we removed the ice platform creation logic. Added elf bounds. Iswam. Which that's the same as up there, but because I changed some other stuff, it all gets changed. The original's got 94 things. I removed 61 of them. So, for lack of a better term, I basically rewrote the blasted thing. But the biggest one is I'm skipping creation of Wombly's team. That was the easiest and best way to do it.
Okay, now that the game's over, I really, really want fudge.
Would you settle for double fudge ice cream?
Ooh, double fudge ice cream. Oh, put that on top of apple pie. Mix all the flavors together.
I think you're bucking to be as big as Santa.
And what's wrong with that?
It's not good for you. I mean, I've got nothing to say. I'm way overweight, but you're kind of a cute elf. I don't want you to have any health problems.
Yeah. I really want the double fudge. apple pie.
We just finished lunch. Give it an hour or so for it to settle, and we'll get you some ice cream and some apple pie.
Sucker.
Yeah, I know. All right, now that we've beaten him, I don't want to say the right way, but, let's just say the right way. Let's stop overriding the content. Oh, it's being stubborn. Let's just restart and see if I can do it without the override. Why is this being so stubborn? Page. Nope, I don't need that. I don't need that. All right, let's just copy it, close Chrome, open Chrome again, and make sure that it does not enforce the overrides. I just passed it. There it is. Enable local override. There we go. All right, so let's go back into here. Single player is true. Before we start, I need to find... Yeah, there we go. All right, case snowball, case game started, KO team, WebSocket closed. Curious. Mother of all snowbombs. There's 3 instances of that. Okay, so I should just be able to call the mother of all snow bombs. Might be able to do it through a WebSocket too. All right, let's get it started, but I need to be on console, and I'm going to go ahead and pre-stage this. It's main scene dot mother of all snow bombs. Yep, there it is. Ready. Fire snowball. That's a bomber. That's the bomber it's talking about. Mother of all... It's a play on a Moab. The mother of all bombs. Drop, drop, drop now. Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Froster. That's funny. Outstanding. So we got the gold medal, but I'm going to do it one more time just to show the other way to do it. So that little bit right there, that will actually send a WebSocket message that will hopefully not error out, but it sends it with type mother of all snow bombs, launch code, and that's what we got from, back over here, the reconnecting WebSocket min.js. So there's the launch code, there's the type. So when we hit start, we should be able to just send that, and boom, everybody's, look at the Wombly hits, 999. So there's 2 different ways you can solve that one, but that pretty much handles the whole... Yep, there's gold. And if we refresh the user profile, Snowball Showdown, we're done. We got Microsoft KC7, which if you remember from the prologue, that's going to be a custo/KQL, custo query language challenge. And those are always fun. So let's hop back into the DMZ, talk to Pepper, and see what we can do.
999 to 0? You were on my team the next time we have a snowball fight. That was awesome! Where can I get one of those?
Well, apparently, Dusty Gift Wrap had it all the whole time, just didn't know where to look for it.
Oh, we need those in every snowball fight. That was awesome! Watching that bomber come in, it was like Grandpa Buff coming in, dropping the mother of all snowbombs.
That's right. The buff is forever. Moving on to KQL. So for that, let's go back to the map, pop back in the DMZ, and now let's go down and talk to Pepper and One Rose. Pepper, this is weird. I got some intel about an imminent attack. Peppermint Sticks here. Got urgent news from neutral ground. North Pole is facing a serious cyber threat and is putting all the factions on edge. The culprits, some troublemakers from Team Wombly. They've launched a barrage of phishing attacks, ransomware, and even some sneaky espionage, causing quite the stir. It's time to jump into action and get cracking on this investigation. There's plenty of cyber sleuthing to do. You'll be digging into KQL logs. Told you it was going to be KQL or Custo. Tracking down phishing schemes and tracing compromised accounts like a seasoned pro. Malware infections have already breached Alabaster Snowball's system, so we need swift action. Your top mission, neutralize these threats and focus on the ransomware wreaking havoc from Team Wombly. It's a hefty challenge, but I know you're up to it. We need your expertise to restore order and keep the peace. You've got the tools, the skills, and the know-how. Let's show Team Wombly we mean business. Ready to dive in? Let's defend the North Pole and bring it back to holiday harmony. What's One Rose got to say? Hey, One Rose here. We at Team Wombly pulled off some nasty stuff. Phishing attacks, ransomware, and cyber espionage. Oh yeah. It's like lions and tigers and bears. We pulled loads of all-nighters to make it all happen. Energy drinks rock. I could probably use one right now. Our teams did what Alabaster said we never could and breached Santa's network. We're so rad. What is this, the 80s? It would take a master defender to fix all the damage we caused, but defense is so lame. Offense is where it's at. Your best defenders are always going to be prior attackers. Defenders know to look at the tools. Attackers know this is where you would look to see if somebody got around those tools, because attackers know how to get around those tools. You need a balance of both. You should just leave them to panic and join our side. We're the coolest. Don't you want to be like us? Not really. All right. Great Elf Conflict. Dum dum dum. That was my other account. I need to log out. No. Stop. Yeah, that's probably not right. Do it that way. Yay, there we go. I closed it just so that it could let me jump into the right account. Okay. Got the right account now. The Great Elf Conflict. Join the game. Missions to solve the Great Elf Conflict. To do so, you'll need etc., etc. Harness the power of Custo Query Language, KQL. Alright, it says when you're ready, just type, let's do this into the console. So let's do that. Let's do this. Alright. Available tables. Start at the top, because this one wants us to basically just kind of get familiar with Custo. You're basically calling the table name, and in this case, because they're wanting you to take 10, it's pretty close to exactly what's in the hint area that they've got here. They've got the employees table. We're going to go through all of them actually, but so table name, pipe, take 10, you run it. Top 10 are there. You've got email, just one email. You can replace authentication events with email, take the top 10 of those. Employees. You get the idea. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip past this one. Haha. Employee count. So we're already on the employee table. We just need to do a count of total employees. And the answer is 90. Now, we're trying to locate a specific elf. It's like a lot of other SQL queries. Oops. Employees where, let's see, chief toy maker. So where role contains chief toy maker. Run it, and it's shiny up a tree. And there we go. We're on the next one. So here are some additional operators. The North Pole Cyber Defense Unit commonly uses double equals. That is exactly the same. Contains, has any, in, and then they just want us to type operator to continue, so we do that. Okay, so now we need email where recipient equals double equals. We're trying to find out how many emails Angel Candy Salt received. So change employees over to email where recipient, just go to the end, double equals. Now, here's where things are going to get fun. Angel Candy Salt is the email address. We've only got shiny up a trees, but it's literally shiny underscore up a tree. So let's see if it's just Angel underscore Candy Salt at Santa Workshop geeseislands.org. But then we're actually going to pipe because they only want to know how many. Run that, runs for a minute, says she got 31 emails. And that's the right answer. Okay. So, using the distinct operator to filter for unique values in a specific column, how many distinct recipients we're seeing in the email logs from Twinkle Frostington at SantaWorkshopGeeseIslands.org. So change this where sender has Twinkle Frostington at, I need the whole thing, SantaWorkshopGeeseIslands.org. Pipe it to distinct recipient, and then just do a count. You run that, there were 32 recipients. And that's correct. So now we're going to start from complete scratch here. Twinkle Frostington, we need their IP address. So one way we can get that, employees where name contains Frostington. Whoops. If we run that, Twinkle Frostington is 1010.036. So we can copy that somewhere else. Then we can copy the query that they have given us and actually drop it in here. Now we've got an operator and a field, so that's going to be a distinct URL. And the operator on this just wants to know how many distinct websites. It's just count. 4. The answer is 4. Ta-da! Level up. Keep playing. Let's see. How many distinct domains in passive DNS contain the word green? All right, so we're going to build this out a little bit. Passive DNS where domain, that's what I'm looking for, contains the value green. And again, we're looking for distinct. Oh, maybe not. Let's see here. Domain. No, that's not it. It's an interesting one. That normally. Yeah, that's got to be domain. Domain contains green. Distinct. Why is that? Domain contains green. There we go. Distinct domains. And let's try count. Run it. 10. Awesome. We're getting there. So now we've got to throw a variable in here, it looks like. Twinkle IPs is going to be the variable. V, where name has... Yeah, they basically are giving you the answer. Distinct IP address. You're going to add this one. Ooh, what are the different... here we go. URL. Perfect. How many all right, so they want us to pipe it to count. Now, when I did this the first time, it actually, and it looks like it's going to do it again, does not refer to any known column or table. All right, I'm going to control X out of that. I'm going to run this, and it doesn't know what to do. All right, so we're going to do this a little bit differently. We run that. We've got 10.10.0.36, 87, and 88. So if we do 10.10.0.36, comma, I don't know if that will work. I know we can do it one at a time. So distinct number, oh, I can't do count on that, can I? Yep, that's not going to work. Because I have to do each one of them separately and then figure out which ones are not duplicated. And I'm going to grab this table for a moment and open it in Image Editor. I'll bring that back in just a moment. Then we had 87. We're going to capture that same region. And lastly, 88. We run that. Capture it again. And let's just confirm. Okay, every one of them's distinct. So if you did the math, you got 8. 4 here, 3 here, 1 there. You got 8. Not sure why it won't let that save as a variable though. But we know the answer is 8. So we got past it. Section 2, Operation Surrender. All right, Team Alabaster, with their limited resources, was growing desperate for an edge over Team Wombly. Knowing that a direct attack would be costly and difficult, they turned to espionage. Their plan, a carefully crafted phishing email that appeared harmless. The email contained a deceptive message with the keyword surrender. Okay, so now we know we're looking at the email table where, let's just say subject contains the word surrender. Hard to spell, Chris. Urging one. Who was the sender? Yeah, that should be enough to get us. Surrender at North Pole Mail is the sender. So email pipe where subject contains the word surrender. didn't copy that? Why didn't copy that? Copy. Pasta. Thank you. And that one's complete. How many elves from Team Wombly received the phishing email? So we can pipe that same one to distinct recipient and then do a count. 22. That seems high. But let's try it. Yep, it was right. What was the name of the file name of the document Team Alabaster distributed in their phishing link? So if we go back, we can actually scroll over to the links. And it just wants the file name, so we should be able to just grab Team Wombly surrender.doc. Because that's one thing they all have in common. Yep, that was right. Nice. Who was the first person to get the phishing link? All right. Going to put the file name there because I know I'm going to need it looking at this. Employees, join enter, blah, blah, blah. You're basically copying the query they gave you and changing the file name. Run. First person was Joyelle Mistletoe. Or Tinseltoe, I'm sorry. There we go. Let's see. What was the file name that was created after the doc was executed? Ooh, I need our host name first. And it's not in here. Wonder if I could make this where IP. Nope, it's got to be host name. Okay. So we need employees where name contains Joyelle. Hostname, elf, whoa, elf, laptop, W, Tinseltoe. There we go. Now we should be able to copy this into place and do the host name. Whoops, fat finger. And then we can get rid of the employees piece, run it, and let's see, what's it doing here? It's an interesting set of you'll need to modify this. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Let's change. Oh, what was the timestamp? I think if we change that to an 8, we should be fine. Run. Wombly, there it is. right after Wombly surrender. A second later is keylogger.exe. Somebody's trying to snag a password. Yep, there it is. So if that's keylogger.exe, run it, copy it, enter it in, and we've just completed the first part. Save that flag. I'm going to tell you now, save that flag. Let me actually close a few things here so we don't need those. So that's Operation Surrender. Now we're beginning Operation Snowfall. Team Wombly's ransomware raid. Fantastic work on completing Section 2. Eve Snowshoes, Senior Security Analyst, has a proud smile. You've demonstrated sharp investigative skills, uncovering every detail of Wombly's attack on Alabaster. Your ability to navigate the complexities of cyber warfare has been impressive. Now we embark on Operation Snowfall, Team Wombly's ransomware raid. This time, the difficulty will increase as we dive into more sophisticated attacks. Stay sharp, see if you can rise to the occasion once again. Type Snowfall to begin. Did not mean to hit that. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Keep playing. The assault began with a password spray targeting several accounts within Team Alabaster. The attack relied on repeated login attempts using common passwords, hoping to find weak entry points. Key to uncovering this tactic is identifying the source of the attack. I really don't think you need to change anything on this particular authentication events. By username and source IP. Run. Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna. What was the IP address associated with the password spray? They're all coming from that, so that one was pretty easy. They gave you the answer. They gave you the query you needed. All right. How many unique accounts where there was a successful login? All right, so we're going to change failed to successful. Let me get rid of the rest of that. Where we know the source IP. I don't know why that tried to run there, but okay. 59.171.58.12. Now we do need to do a distinct username, and they just want to count. They don't want to know who, they just want to count. There were 23 unique accounts that got a successful login from that address. Ta-da! What service was used to access those accounts or devices? Okay, well now they're trying to figure out. Should just be able to remove the count and the distinct. Successful login. And every one of them's RDP, so it should just be able to be RDP. Ta-da! What file was exfiltrated from Alabaster Snowball's laptop? So first off, do I see the host? Yes, I do. I gotta find alabaster snowballs. Give me a moment. Oh, his wasn't one of the ones that was successful. Let's go process events. Where username. Oops. Sorry, hit enter. In case you're wondering where I got his username from, CR Snowflake Breeze, EV Winter Whisper. It's basically, oh, there's his laptop. AL Snowball. Okay, what file was exfiltrated? Copy, definitely to Wombly's machine, so it's got to be this secret files.zip file. Yep. What was the name of the malicious file? That was pretty obvious. And again, save this this flag that's about to spit out, because you're going to need it. And where's my notepad? Operation Snowfall. I'll show you why you need them in a minute. Submit. All right. As you close out the investigation into Team Wombly's attack, Eve Snowshoes meets you with a serious expression. You've done an incredible job so far, but now we face our most elusive adversary yet. This isn't just another team. It's an unknown, highly skilled threat actor who's been operating in the showers, leaving behind only whispers of their presence. Ghosts. Gotta love them. Seen traces of their activity, but they've covered their tracks well. She pauses, the weight of the challenge ahead clear. This is where things get even more difficult. We're entering uncharted territory. Prepare yourself for the toughest investigation yet. Follow the clues, stay sharp. Let's uncover the truth behind these echoes in the frost. Stay frosty. They just want us to type stay frosty to begin. What was the timestamp? All right, so that's going to be in emails where subject contains the word breach. So what they're asking, Noel Bowtie, the IT administrator, reported receiving strange emails about a breach from colleagues. These emails might hold the first clue in uncovering the unknown threat actor's methods. Your task is to identify when the first of those suspicious emails was received. Eve Snowshoes remarks, timing of these phishing emails is critical. If we can identify the first one, we'll have a better chance of tracing the threat actor's initial moves. So they're asking for the timestamp of the first phishing email about breached credentials received by Noel Bowtie. So we can actually add a where recipient contains Bowtie. Run that. And it looks like the timestamp of the first one is 12/12/2024, which is about 11 days in the future. That's funny. We're time travelers.
Of course we're time travelers. How do you think Santa makes it across the globe to every single house in a night?
I figured he was using some Doctor Who technology. I don't know. I mean, we already know he's carrying a sack full of presents for everybody. There's 8 billion or so people on the planet. sack's got to be bigger on the inside, so I figured it was just some Doctor Who technology.
You're hopeless.
I'm a huge dork. You just now getting this?
Oh no, I'm getting it. Doctor Who. You gotta be kidding me. It's Christmas magic. Get over it.
Well, all magic comes at a price. There's your timestamp, 12/12/2024 at 1448 minutes and 55 seconds Zulu. Throw that in there, and there's our answer. When did Noel first click the link? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a very good question. So I need to know. This could be an outbound network event, because if you look at the email that came in, there are links in this. I mean, that's the first one, holidaybargainhunt.io. So it's going to be an outbound network event, but before I do that, I need to know what Noel's IP address is. So let's run this. Our IP address is 10.10.09. So now we should be able to do an outbound network event where source IP, let's do a double equals 10.10.09. And if we run that, looks like 12/12/24 at 15:13:55 Zulu. Yeah, there we go. What was the IP address where the file was hosted? That's going to be an inbound event. Inbound network event where... Ooh. Okay, so we've got a URL contains holiday bargain hunt.io. And I'm getting that directly from this echo link right here. If we run that, Santa Workshop eSilence.org, it looks like. Please don't try to open a new window. Oh, the IP. Okay. So that's only the first part. Source IP is going to be that. (182.56.23.122). Awesome. All right, so now they want us to look at authentication events to see if any inbound connections were made from that source IP, and if so, what host name was accessed. So that's pretty much just a authentication event where source IP equals that IP address. And the host name is Web App Elves Workshop. It's the only one in there. What script was used to obtain credentials? All right, so that's going to be a process event because they've already logged in, where hostname equals Web App Elves Workshop. Let's run that. Oh, there's a PowerShell command here. What is it? Oh, Mimikatz. Yeah, invoke Mimikatz.ps1. So we can copy that, put that into the answer field, hit submit. And what timestamp? What is the timestamp where Noel executed the file? Interesting. Technically, executed which file? That's the question. Back to Noel. After downloaded the file, followed the instructions in the email, ran it, but mentioned that nothing appeared to happen. So the email came from an internal source. Noel assumed it was safe. Yet this may have been the moment the unknown threat actor silently gained access. So we should be able to keep the process events, but change the username. It's double equals. And if it's Noel Bowtie, we've already established with Alabaster, it's the first two letters of the first name and the last name. So process events on that. Notepad, let's see where we're at. Mold wine, echo. Let's see, is that the right one? Yeah, that's got to be it. Because echo was one of that was the first thing clicked. There we go. Level 4, detection kitten. That's cute. All right, so now they're wanting to know what domain was the Holiday Candy HTA file downloaded from. That's an outbound network request where the URL contained holidaycandy.hta. That should narrow it down fairly well. The URL is compromised Christmas toys.com. Outstanding. All right. Interesting series of events. The attacker downloaded a copy of frosty.txt. Don't tell me Jack Frost is back. Decoded it into a zip file. Used tar to extract the contents of frosty.zip into the task directory. Suggests the possibility that additional payloads or tools were delivered to Noel's laptop. Okay, that should be pretty easy. What was the first file created after execution? So that's going to be a file creation event. And we're still talking about Noel, so where username is No Bowtie. Run that. There is echo right there. Interesting. So there is a front.7z. Let's see. That can't be the only thing. holidaycandy.hta to JavaScript to Steam to SQL Writer. Wait. Because once it hit SQL Writer, that's when tasks. I mean, that's the only other thing in tasks that. So it's got to be that. Specifically said in the tasks directory. So that would mean the first thing written to the task directory was SQL Writer. And that is correct. What is the name of the property assigned to the new registry key? So in the previous question, we discovered two files, SQL Writer and FrostDLL. Yep, that was the one I was just talking about. Were downloaded onto Noel's laptop immediately after a registry key was added to ensure that SQL Writer will run every time the computer boots. Persistent mechanism indicates an attacker's intent to maintain long-term control over the systems. All right, so we should be able to do a process events query. Hang on. know if username's... Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. All right. Frosty.text. Tasks, SQL Writer, Frosty.zip. There we go. Yeah, see right here, this new item property. New item dash path, HKey, current user, HKCU. Software, Microsoft Windows, current version run, etc., etc. Microsoft SQL Writer Force. New item property name is Frosty. So the name of the property that was assigned to the new registry key is Frosty. Nice, Jack Frost. Got to keep messing with stuff, man. Not sure why that did not take. Submit. I think I may have just lost internet. Yes, I did. Hold that thought.
Wow, when you said your internet sucked, you weren't lying, were ya?
Nope, I wasn't lying. Go. Gotta run all through these again. Stand by. Trying to get to the question that we left. One good thing about this is if you do forget to copy over the base 64 strings, you can come back through here and find them. Ransomware raid, echoes in the forest. Hey, we're finally in the section that we're actively working. There we go. Oh. That works. That was literally the end. Change this so we know that the property name was the last question. So Frosty is what we need to change it to. Run it. Get it. Post it. And we're done. Copy that over. Echoes in the forest. So now I'm going to bring that and kind of split screen it if I can. Knowing full well that I'm going to have to go back and reopen the Holiday Hack Challenge page. We can go into our achievements list. Our objectives list. Go down here. KQL 101. Oh. Well, that's pulling back up because I forgot to get the end of KQL 101. Too far. All right, let's see if that's what it's looking for. All right, so if we go into our objectives list, learn and practice KQL, queries to analyze data logs. Let's put the last answer from that in, which if you remember from when we went back here, that should be 8. So let's try putting an 8 and hitting submit. There's the first one. Operation surrender. Remember I said you were going to need these flags? Tag. New narrative unlocked. Operation Snowfall. Snowfall. And lastly, Echoes in the Forest. New achievement. Gold on all of them. Check the user profile. 15 for 15. Outstanding. So now I have an elf over here begging for apple pie and double fudge ice cream, so I'll catch y'all on Act 3. See you then. Actually, before we go there, we need to talk to One Rose, because that's the one person we haven't talked to yet. Or, I'm sorry, not One Rose, Wombly. We haven't spoken to Wombly yet. So let's see what Wombly's got to say. Everything's going according to plan. May not have the large numbers, but we have the resources, the superior technology, and the element of surprise. None of them are prepared for our coup. Santa's nowhere to be found. He's likely slacking off in the Geese Island still, and the North Pole is primed for new leadership. Why do I have the distinct feeling that Wombly is actually Jack Frost? I'll return holiday operations to their former glory and ensure we never vary from the tried and true traditions again. The holiday season's triumphant return to glory will soon be upon us. You have my gratitude for assisting Piney with his power shell problem. Now we can get our snowshooters tested and operational. Piney, we need those snow arms ready for battle. Commence testing and field certification. That's an order. Really? Received intel that we may have a double agent in our ranks. Do you know who it is? No? I'm not sure I trust you. I even think it's likely you're the culprit. I have my spy's eyes on you. Darn that alabaster. He has the naughty nice list. No matter. I will get it from his frozen hands after we bury their forces in snow with our arsenal of snow weaponry and armada of drone bombers. Soon our snowballs will blot out the sun. Then we will fight in the shade. Yes, that was a 300 reference. And our malware will, well, you'll see. Don't let Alabaster's innocence act fool you. How can someone that is accepting of Santa's reckless and unprofessional behavior call himself an elf? Goes against everything any self-respecting elf stands for. You've chosen. Try that again. You are choosing the right side over here. Trust me, the North Pole is ever closer to being the greatest it's ever been. Get off my lawn, Santa. Yeah, that sounded an awful lot like Jack in a Wombly suit. Wouldn't be the first time. A few years ago, you actually were able to become Santa because of a portrait. So Jack was basically walking around in a Santa suit. It was a weird time. But I'm willing to bet Wombly's going to be... That's got to be Jack. That's got to be Jack. Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow when Act 3 is released. Until then, have fun. Remember, the Counterhack team has said that the third act cannot be released until after the competition is over. Oh, that's the wrong place. Hang on. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. See, however, for Act 3, players must wait until after the competition ends before sharing their answers and solutions. Does not say exactly when it ends, though. Unless I'm losing my mind. Contest instructions. Here we go. Report should be submitted by January 3rd. So January 4th, I'll be able to go ahead and release the Act 3 video walkthrough. I am very much looking forward to that. Uh, so I'll see y'all in Act 3 and see you on January 4th. Cheers.